Yeah, it's definitely something we've been talking about a lot here in the Weather Center all night long. Saturated ground, winds cranking up, and then the heavy wet snow. So there could be several different factors that lead to some power outages. We'll hope that we can minimize that amount. Let's take a look at your storm impacts. So again, a long duration event. We've got another 36 hours to go. The storm really hasn't even gotten going yet. That is going to be through the day tomorrow and all the way into Wednesday morning. The rain changes to snow later tomorrow, and the time of the change is going to, of course, determine how much that you're going to get. And we'll talk about that in a second. And then the wind gusts 45 to 60. I think the upper end of that range, that's more right along the coast, but we could certainly see 40, 45, even close to 50-mile-an-hour gusts a little bit further inland. That will lead to outages. We also are talking minor coastal flooding, especially in the high tide times tomorrow. We're going to have to keep an eye on that. If you're someone who has a low-lying area, basement could flood, street could flood, you got to move the car. That is something you definitely need to know. All right, here we go. March Madness. Nor'easter is taking shape, beginning to intensify. Now, this is a storm that is being kind of held back by the high pressure that we have. We call it blocking high pressure. I mean, talk about the basketball references here. It blocks that low pressure from going right on out to sea and, maybe only giving us minor impacts, and it is actually helping it to strengthen as well. The low just has nowhere to go. So the strongest is coming up tomorrow, and for that reason, the more significant impacts coming up tomorrow as well. All right, rain across the board tonight. Watch that rain-snow line dancing further south as we head into tomorrow morning. You're already snowing, moderate heavy snow over in Springfield, over in Hartford, up towards Worcester. Now you're seeing Providence, Woonsocket, Smithfield getting in on that as we drop it south into the afternoon hours. Still a lot of heavy rain along the Cape, but even you guys over towards Hyannis, Falmouth, New Bedford, seeing those colder temperatures crash in during the afternoon. 5 o'clock, almost everybody is seeing some form of wet snow. Heavy wet snow, tough to shovel, tough on the trees, tough on the power lines. And again, the winds are going to be cranking at this point. Let's jump you, first let's talk the snow map. Again, we're going to zoom this in. I wanted to zoom this in a little bit closer just to show you really where it's a fine, fine line. Coating to 2 inches, New Bedford, Tiverton, Newport, South Kingston, Charlestown, Hopkinton. You go up a little further north, Exeter, Coventry, Providence in that 2 to 4. Then we're talking, again, the northwest quarter of Providence County, Burrillville, Woonsocket, 4 to 6 inches over towards Woodstock. Attleboro, you're right on that line. And then you really have to get up towards Worcester and areas further north than that if you're going to see the jackpot, if you will, of snow totals where we can get upwards of a foot or even more there in some of those high elevations. Here are your wind gusts right now. Again, the storm is still getting going, so we're only seeing 20 to 25-mile-an-hour gusts. You've got near 30 right now in Nantucket. Those are going to pick up overnight. Look at Provincetown by tomorrow at 10 o'clock, near 50 miles an hour. Chatham, Hyannis, Plymouth, you're seeing gusts at 35 miles an hour. The winds start to back around to the the northwest from the northeast, and then they're going to start to really increase across the board as the storm tries to pull away, and you've got high pressure building in from the west. So this becomes a little bit more of a widespread wind event during the day tomorrow. Not a good day to be a teacher or superintendent. Tough decisions to make here. You've got rain in the morning, temperatures fall into the 30s in the afternoon. It changes to snow between noon and 4. It's going to be windy throughout. I guess kids holding on hope. Maybe we get that snow day tomorrow. Tonight, 39, rain heavy at times, turning windy, 10 to 20 mile per hour winds out of the northeast. Then they'll go northwest tomorrow, gusts upwards of 40. Again, you're close to the coast. We'll get some 50 and maybe even 60-mile-an-hour gusts. Rain changes to that heavy, wet snow during the afternoon hours. The precip eventually tapers late Tuesday into Wednesday. I think, again, this is a long-duration event, so we're probably going to see at least some precipitation, maybe even into the Wednesday morning commute. So we may not be out of the woods completely after tomorrow. We'll finally get some sunshine back on Thursday, high near 50. Nice day there. A little breezy, but not bad. And then Friday, for St. Patrick's Day, we start off with sun, we end with clouds, and maybe even some showers by sunset, and unfortunately looking like a wet start to the weekend for anybody that may have St. Patrick's Day festivities. We'll get the sun back for Sunday and Monday.
All right, Jeff, thank you.